This is just, I call it chunky yarn. I bought it at Hobby Lobby. The brand is Yarn Bee. We're going to take about a foot. This is going to be our tail. Then we're going to take a loop. And we're going to take this section and we are going to pull this through. Pull it kind of tight, making a slip knot. And you want to be able to put about 2 fingers in the middle to make this slip knot. Now we're going to just repeat this process, but you don't have to make it, you don't have to pull it tight this time. And so we're just going to take our ball of yarn or the yarn we're using, we're going to put it over on the right-hand side of us. We're going to make another loop really close to the one that you have, and we're going to pull it up. Just like that. We're making bunny ears, lots of bunny ears, I guess. And we're just going to repeat the process. So see, now I have 3 loops. I'm going to make a total of 8 loops for this pumpkin. That will make this size pumpkin right here. This was made with 8 loops. So now we're going to loop this over right next to it. So you're kind of making a cursive L, if you would, or at least the cursive top of the loop. We're going to pull it through. We're going to do it again till we have 8 loops. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 3 more. We're just going to take this part, loop it over, take this under part here, and pull it through. Loop it again, and pull it through. Do I have 8? Or I have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7. Okay, so we're going to loop it and take the tail, or the big part of the yarn, not the tail, because it's over there. And so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 loops. So this is how I do it. There are others, tutorials on YouTube or Pinterest, but this is how I do it. I flip this over so my loops are facing me. I'm going to make a circle. I'm going to put my tail in the center. Now I'm going to take this part, not the tail, but my ball of yarn that I have. I'm going to make me a loop, and I'm going to put this loop through this loop. Make me a loop, put this loop through that loop. I'm going to put this on the floor. I am going to make a loop and put this loop through this loop. Make a loop and put this loop through that loop. Making sure that you're keeping all your loops. Let's see, I'm gonna put this outside right there so I can tell that this was the start of my loops, so that I know that. So we're gonna make a loop and we're gonna push it through. Make a loop and push it through. We are going to make a loop, which I didn't get made a loop there, and push it through. Make another loop and push it through. And now we're back to the beginning, and we're going to continue as many go arounds. I don't as many times as you want. Okay. You are going to continue the same process and add as many rows as you want. There's not really a set limit. You just make it as tall or as short as you want it. Just be sure that you are getting every single loop, because if you don't, you might find when you are almost finished that you've left out a loop and you have to pull it all out and start again. Once you have it to the height that you want it, you are going to take your yarn and just either cut it, or you can simply just tear it apart. Now we are simply going to take the tail and we are going to just connect all of the bottom loops together. So you take your tail and you add it to the next loop, and you're going to cinch it pretty carefully at the very beginning, and you continue all the way around of taking your tail and inserting it into the loop. Cinch it up a little bit, because basically you are trying to make a complete closure of your pumpkin. And you just continue all the way around of inserting and cinching. Insert and cinch. Then when you have all of your loops connected, you're just going to pull it as tight as you can, but not too tight, because you do not want to break your yarn. And then you're going to tie it into a knot. And once you have your knot, you're just going to tuck it into the hole and use the extra tail for some stuffing. Now it's time to add our stuffing. You can make this as packed as you want to, or just have it loose. That is entirely up to you. But just kind of pull your stuffing apart, just so that because it's so compact in the packaging, you want it just to kind of spread it out a little bit. So you're just going to pack in, like I said, as much as you want. And then once you are done and it's filled to your liking, we're going to finish up our pumpkin. So now we're going to take that tail and just run it through any of the loop that you can get it through up around the edges. And we're going to, once again, we're going to just cinch it up just the way that we did the top or the bottom, whichever one you want. And once you've done that, we're going to tie a knot and push it back through the top of the pumpkin. Now your pumpkin is complete, and all you need to do is just embellish. I fluffed mine out just a little bit, made sure that the stuffing wasn't showing as best as I could, and then I added a stem. You can either use a wine cork, a branch from a tree that you have in your yard, or I used Forest Naturals. It's a package of just little 2 to 3 inch pieces of wood that has been cut that I found at Hobby Lobby in the bridal section. You can add raffia as a bow, you can add fabric as a bow, add some fall leaves, some pine cones, whatever you want, or you could just leave it natural, and there you have it. A really cute and simple chunky yarn pumpkin.